I'm one of the organizers of the Tricontinental Anti-Imperialist Platform who are hosting this meeting. Kindly, the space has been given to us, as has been the case for a number of times in the last 2 years, by Houseman's Bookshop, and we appreciate that. The Tricontinental Anti-Imperialist Platform is an initiative of a network of activists and scholars and organizers who want to give prominence and preeminence to the actually existing struggle against the Western world system, or modern capitalism, or imperialism, or neo-colonialism, or or coloniality, or whatever kind of tag you want to put on this globally operating system of oppression which impacts all of humanity on the planet. We recognize that living in the heartland, in the heart of whiteness, of white supremacy and neo-colonialism, that is not fashionable and is not popular and is not heard the voices and struggles of our people against this system across the planet. And that is what we want to give emphasis to, and that is the voice and analysis and ideologies that we want to concentrate people towards. So today is quite a unique event. Often you have events that pull together different things without any real strategic or conceptual linkage and unity. But in the Tricontinental, which by the by takes its name from the Cuban initiative of the 1960s, that was the Tricontinental, which by the by Che Guevara made his most famous speech in 1967 called The Message to the Tricontinental. But with the Tricontinental, what we're trying to weave together is that united global struggle that we had, which you can chart back to the rise of modern colonialism, which became obviously a global system, and that breeded and inspired resistance to that colonial oppression. And that default and de facto global unity became a formalized united struggle, particularly in the first half of the 20th century, but especially so after the victories of the anti-colonial struggles in the Second World War period and the period after the Second World War period. At that time you had many formations that brought together this struggle against Western hegemony, be it the non-aligned movement, be it, like I said, the Tricontinental of Cuba, and many other formations of what we call the Global South, or the quote-unquote Third World, etc. So that's what we're trying to reconstitute today, is to highlight the continuities of that struggle, which apparently had a historic defeat, and it did have a historic defeat in the period of 1989 to 1991, whereby after which we had the slogans of neo-colonial triumphalism, which was the New World Order, and the shock and awe and full spectrum dominance, which was graphically displayed by crucifying the nation of Iraq, which continues to be crucified along with other peoples of the region. The struggle is still continuing. We may have won formal independence throughout much of the global south, but because of neo-colonialism, it is still harassing us. It is still putting under a state of war and siege and sanctions and oppression and cultural imperialism as well. So that is why we're particularly giving a special privileged voice to two main struggles on the planet. That's the Black Liberation Movement in the so-called United States of America, and the Black Liberation Movement in this country, specifically around the issue of police brutality and deaths in police custody. And also, obviously, we have to define what is meant by the Black liberation struggle. That's a longer discussion to be had, but broadly, I would suggest to you that the Black liberation struggle is the Black Revolution as defined by Malcolm X in his speech defining the Black Revolution, which is basically all black and brown or non-white people united in a struggle against neo-colonialism. That's broadly how we define it. So we have voices of these struggles, and also there's a direct connection with our Korean comrades who we're very privileged to have in the room with us, and the Black Liberation Movement. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea has been a pioneer in the global solidarity between so-called third world peoples and struggles, and also the Black Revolution, and particularly Black communities in the West as well. Eldridge Cleaver and his wife and comrade at the time, Kathleen Cleaver, actually gave birth to their daughter in Pyongyang, and I've heard it said that it was the Korean revolutionary leader Kim Il-sung who actually named their daughter. But beyond that as well, the Black Panthers were very inspired by socialist Korea and the concept of self-reliance, which is called Juche in Korean, and they thought that very relevant to their own struggle. And there was a front page of the Black Panther Party newspaper designed by our comrade and elder respected brother Emory Douglas, who had Kim Il-sung on the front page, and a quote from him, which is a part of the artwork of this event. But also, in addition to that, a very live issue that's going on, and a complex issue, is the resistance against NATO's death squads, against NATO's razor blades in the Middle East North African region, which is so-called ISIS, so-called Jabhat al-Nusra, and many others. And that is the resistance in Kobani, and generally the resistance of the Kurds in Syria, along with the rest of the Syrian people as well, and the Kurds in Turkey, who are fighting against NATO and their death squads as well. And we're very happy to have a speaker there. Actually, I wasn't supposed to be the chair this evening, and I'm very happy that our brother and comrade chair, Carlos Martinez, has stepped into the room, for which he'll take over after our first speaker. I would like to invite our first speaker, who is a Kurdish sister from the Kurdish Students' Union and the Kurdish Assembly in this country, is Sister Elif, and she will talk more about the struggle in Kobani. I would like you to give a warm welcome to the sister, displaying our solidarity and support to the resistance in Kobani. Thank you.